Kirk Frost has broke finally and his silence, and what he's saying has left fans in complete disbelief. With tears in his eyes and fire in his voice, Kirk stood before cameras, his words cutting through the thick cloud of rumors. "My son isn't T-Hood's killer. He's being framed." That one statement sent shockwaves through the reality TV community, sparking heated debates, wild theories, and explosive reactions from both supporters and skeptics. For weeks, whispers have circled the streets of Atlanta and flooded social media timelines. Did Kirk's son really have something to do with T-Hood's tragic death? Or is this the cruelest setup reality television has ever seen? The drama is darker and messier than anyone imagined, pulling fans deep into a storm of betrayal, secrets, and accusations that threaten to tear families apart. Everyone from Rashida to Kendra, Jock, and even Scrappy has been dragged into the Inst chaos, their voices rising as alliances shift and tempers boil. And while the cameras caught glimpses of tense confrontations and private breakdowns, nothing could prepare the cast or the viewers for Kirk's bombshell revelation. This isn't just another storyline. This is a battle for truth, a fight for family, and a scandal that could destroy reputations forever. So buckle up, because the truth, or at least Kirk's truth, is about to unfold. And it will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew. The night Kirk Frost decided to speak out was already charged with tension. But no one could have predicted the emotional storm that would unfold. Sitting in his living room with Rashida by his side, the cameras rolled as Kirk's jaw clenched, his voice shaking with a mixture of rage and desperation. "I'm not gonna sit here and let the world think my son is some kind of monster," he began, his tone heavy with both pain and defiance. Fans watching at home leaned forward, phones buzzing with notifications, social media already exploding with hashtags like #Justice for Kirk Jr. and #Though-OD-Truth. But behind those words was a much darker story, one that reached far beyond just a shocking accusation. Days earlier, the Atlanta rap scene had been rattled by T-Hood's sudden death. Known for his fiery lyrics and bold personality, T-Hood wasn't just another rapper in the game, he was a local legend, respected by many and feared by some. When news broke that he'd been found dead under suspicious circumstances, everyone wanted answers, but no one expected Kirk's family name to suddenly be thrown into the fire. Rumors swirled faster than anyone could contain them, fueled by blurry videos circulating on Twitter and Instagram that seemed to show Kirk's son near the scene. The footage wasn't clear, but the internet doesn't wait for clarity. Within hours, accusations had spread like wildfire, with fans, critics, and bloggers all pointing fingers. "That's Kirk Jr., no doubt about it," one viral tweet claimed, while another fan shouted back online, "Y'all trippin', this is a setup, open your eyes." The drama quickly escalated when gossip blogs started pushing narratives of a secret feud between Kirk's son and T-Hood, alleging that jealousy and street beef had boiled over into something deadly. To make matters worse, a former associate of T-Hood claimed in an Instagram Live that he'd heard about threats exchanged between the 2 weeks before the tragedy. Whether it was true or not didn't seem to matter. The story was too juicy for fans and too scandalous for producers of the reality show to ignore. Soon, Kirk found himself facing not just the glare of paparazzi cameras, but also a community divided, with some calling for his son's arrest and others demanding the truth be uncovered before judgment was passed. "It's tearing my family apart," Kirk admitted during filming, his voice cracking as Rashida rubbed his shoulder, trying to keep her composure even though her own eyes glistened with tears. The pain in the room was palpable, and yet the tension only grew when Kendra and Jock showed up, demanding answers of their own. Jock, pacing back and forth, muttered, "Man, this whole thing don't add up. But if your boy got something to do with this, Kirk, you gotta own it." That set Kirk off, his anger boiling over as he shot back. "Don't you dare come in my house and accuse my son like you know something. He's innocent." He's being set up. Rashida stepped between them, trying to keep the argument from spiraling out of control. But the damage was already done. The cameras caught every glare, every sharp word, every moment of raw emotion. And the clip went viral before the episode even aired. Fans were glued to their screens, dissecting every second, arguing over who was lying and who was telling the truth. Some believed Kirk wholeheartedly, convinced that his son was a victim of a twisted plot, while others weren't buying it, pointing to Kirk's history of cover-ups and messy scandals as proof that he might be hiding the real story. Meanwhile, whispers began to surface that T. Hood's own circle wasn't convinced of Kirk Jr.'s guilt either. In fact, one of T. Hood's closest friends went live on social media, insisting that there's no way that boy did it. T. had bigger enemies than that. His words added fuel to the fire, sending fans into a frenzy as new theories began to spin. Was this a case of mistaken identity? A calculated frame job? Or had someone within the industry orchestrated the entire thing to settle old scores? While the internet speculated, Kirk doubled down, calling a private family meeting that quickly turned explosive. Rashida begged him to think carefully about how much to reveal on camera. But Kirk was done playing safe. "If I don't stand up for my son, who will?" He shouted, slamming his hand on the table. The kids sat in silence, wide-eyed and shaken, their lives now thrust into the glare of a controversy they never asked for. "Daddy, are they going to take him away?" One of the younger children whispered, and the room fell into a heavy silence that no one knew how to break. That heartbreaking moment alone was enough to leave fans in tears. With social media users flooding timelines with comments like "Protect Kirk's family at all costs" and "This is too much," reality TV is getting way too real. But as emotional as it was, the storm was far from over. Just when the family thought things couldn't get worse, new footage surfaced online. This time, a clearer video that appeared to show someone resembling Kirk's son arguing with T. Hood in a parking lot just hours before his death. The video shook the internet to its core, reigniting debates and painting Kirk Jr. in an even darker light. "That's him, no doubt," shouted some, while others argued, "Man, that video could be anybody, y'all reaching?" But the damage was done. Even Rashida couldn't hide her fear anymore, her voice trembling as she said to Kirk, "What if it's true? What if he was there?" Kirk snapped back instantly. "I don't care what some shaky video shows. My son didn't kill nobody." His loyalty was unwavering, but doubts were beginning to creep into the family, threatening to fracture them from within. And just when it seemed the walls were closing in, a new twist emerged that flipped the narrative yet again. A mystery witness came forward, claiming to have seen someone else fleeing the scene. Someone connected not to Kirk's son, but to another figure in Atlanta's music scene. The revelation sent shockwaves through the cast, sparking furious arguments during filming as alliances shifted and old wounds were reopened. Scrappy, slamming his hand on the table during one heated exchange, growled, "Y'all out here pointing fingers at Kirk's boy, but the streets know who really got beef with T. Hood." His words hung in the air, thick with tension, as the rest of the cast exchanged uneasy glances. Suddenly, the story wasn't so simple anymore, and fans were left reeling, unsure of who to believe or what would come next. The tension was unbearable as Scrappy's words echoed through the room, sending chills down everyone's spine. Rashida looked from Kirk to Joke, then back at Scrappy, her hands trembling as she whispered, "If the streets know, then why is everybody pointing at our son?" It was a question no one wanted to answer, but the silence that followed was more telling than any words could be. Kirk's face hardened, his jaw tight as he leaned forward, staring at Scrappy with eyes blazing. "You better start talking," he demanded, his voice low but filled with fury. Scrappy hesitated, glancing at the cameras, then finally muttered, "All I'm saying is, people out there know who had the real problem with T. Hood, and it wasn't your boy." The room erupted into chaos. Jock jumped to his feet, demanding, names while Kendra clutched her phone, already typing furiously as if the truth might spill out online before it could be spoken in person. Rashida begged for calm, but her own fear was written all over her face. The cast was divided, emotions ran high, and fans watching later would swear they could feel the heat of the argument through their screens. As if things weren't already spiraling, that same night the producers received a phone call that would flip everything upside down. A witness, who insisted on remaining anonymous, claimed they had seen another man at the scene, a man tied to an entirely different clique in the Atlanta music world. The producers wasted no time stirring the pot, setting up a meeting where the story could be shared on camera. Kirk arrived first, pacing the floor like a caged lion, his hands shaking with anticipation. Rashida sat quietly beside him, whispering, "Please God, let this be the truth that saves our family." When Scrappy walked in, followed closely by Jock, Kendra, and a couple of producers, the air grew heavy with suspense. The witness appeared through a video call, face blurred, voice distorted, but their words sent shockwaves through everyone in the room. "I saw him," the witness declared, "and it wasn't Kirk's son. It was someone else running from the parking lot that night. Someone with a grudge bigger than anything your boy could have carried." The silence that followed was deafening. Kirk closed his eyes, relief washing over him, but it was quickly replaced with anger. "Then why the hell is my son being dragged through the mud? Why is my family being destroyed?" he shouted, slamming his fist against the armrest. I raised an eyebrow, muttering, "Maybe somebody wants it that way. Maybe somebody out here trying to take you down, Kirk." The suggestion hung in the air, dangerous and heavy. Rashida's breath caught in her throat. Could it be possible that this wasn't just about T-Hood's death, but part of a bigger plot to ruin their family's name? The idea was chilling. And yet, the more they thought about it, the more it made sense. Meanwhile, social media was on fire. Fans dissected every clip, every leaked conversation, every grainy image that surfaced. Some insisted this was a simple case of guilt, while others screamed that it was a setup from the start. "Open your eyes. They framing that boy because of who his daddy is," one fan tweeted, while another shot back, "Please. Kirk covering for his son like he always does. This is just another Frost family scandal." Hashtags trended worldwide, gossip blogs churned out articles by the hour, and even mainstream outlets began sniffing around the story. The reality TV drama had morphed into a national scandal, and Kirk knew he had to fight harder than ever to protect his family. But then, in a shocking twist, an old video resurfaced, one showing T-Hood himself in an interview weeks before his death, casually mentioning beef with someone close to him. "Man, there's people out here jealous, watching my every move. Some of them used to be my boys, but I know how the streets work." "You can't trust nobody," he said, flashing a hard look into the camera. Fans instantly connected the dots, linking the unnamed jealous person to the mystery witness's testimony. The new theory that T-Hood's death wasn't random and certainly not tied to Kirk's son, but rather a targeted act of betrayal from within T-Hood's own circle. The speculation grew so wild that even the show's producers couldn't keep up with the headlines. At home, however, the Frost household was unraveling. Kirk's son, shaken and terrified, broke down in front of the cameras. "I didn't do this," he cried, his voice cracking under the weight of accusations. "I was there, yeah, but I didn't kill nobody. They set me up." The confession stunned viewers, sparking immediate chaos online. Some fans clung to his words as proof of innocence, while others seized on the admission that he had been at the scene as evidence of guilt. Rashida rushed to comfort him, sobbing as she held him close, but Kirk stood frozen, his mind racing. If his son admitted to being there, what did that mean? Was he telling the whole truth, or only part of it? The doubt gnawed at Kirk, but he pushed it aside, clinging to the belief that his boy was being framed. "You hear me?" he shouted. At the cameras, my son is innocent. And I'll prove it, whatever it takes. The producers seized on the raw emotion, pushing for more confrontations, more explosive scenes, more drama to feed the insatiable appetite of fans. But what they didn't anticipate was how far Kirk was willing to go. He launched his own investigation, meeting with lawyers, calling in favors, even reaching out to people from T. Hood's own circle. The deeper he dug, the more tangled the web became. Secrets surfaced, exposing not just hidden feuds, but financial deals, betrayals, and grudges that painted a picture far more complex than anyone had imagined. Suddenly, the idea of Kirk's son being the sole suspect seemed absurd, almost laughable, compared to the layers of deceit unraveling around them. And yet, just as Kirk felt he was getting closer to the truth, another bombshell dropped, a leaked voicemail allegedly from T. Hood himself, warning someone to watch their back. The audio, muffled but chilling, set the internet ablaze, with fans speculating endlessly about who T. Hood had been addressing. Some believed it was Kirk's son, others insisted it was a different rival altogether. But one thing was clear, the mystery was far from over. Rashida, exhausted and overwhelmed, pleaded with Kirk to let it go, fearing for their safety. "You're playing with fire, Kirk," she cried, her voice breaking. "What if they come after us next?" But Kirk was relentless, his determination fueled by both love and rage. "I ain't letting them destroy my family," he growled. "Not now, not ever." The cast, too, couldn't escape the fallout. Jock found himself caught in the middle, torn between loyalty to Kirk and fear of being dragged into something much bigger than reality TV. Kendra distanced herself, warning Jock that this drama could ruin both of them. Scrappy, however, leaned in, determined to back Kirk up. "I know what it's like to have the streets try and bury you with lies," Kay said, pulling Kirk aside in a rare moment of brotherhood. "We've gone get to the bottom of this." Fans praised Scrappy's loyalty, dubbing him the realest one on the show. But even he knew the fight ahead would be brutal. Just as alliances seemed to solidify, yet another twist rocked the story. Police sources leaked information suggesting that new evidence had surfaced. Evidence that pointed away from Kirk's son entirely. But before the details could be confirmed, the leak was shut down, sparking even more speculation. What was the evidence? Who was it pointing to? And why were the authorities suddenly so tight-lipped? The unanswered questions only deepened the suspense, keeping fans glued to every update, desperate for the next revelation. Kirk, sensing both an opportunity and a trap, prepared to confront the truth head-on. He called for a sit-down with the entire cast, determined to lay everything on the table. Rashida begged him to reconsider, but he was resolute. "If we don't clear this up now, it's gonna destroy us. Okay, and I ain't letting that happen." The stage was set for one of the most explosive gatherings in the history of reality TV, a meeting that would expose secrets, shatter friendships, and bring the truth crashing to the surface in ways no one could have imagined. The room was electric with tension as Kirk gathered everyone in the living room once more, determined to confront the mounting chaos head-on. Cameras captured every glance, every whispered argument, and every sharp intake of breath as emotions ran high. "We need to get to the bottom of this," Kirk said firmly, his eyes scanning the faces of those around him. "No more secrets. No more lies. We lay it all out tonight." Rashida, sitting beside him, held his hand tightly, her knuckles white with anxiety. Jock, pacing near the window, muttered under his breath, "Man, I don't know if we're ready for this. Things are about to get messy." Kirk shot him a glare, unyielding, as he motioned for everyone to sit. "Ready or not, Jock, this is happening. I won't let my family be dragged through the mud any longer." The tension was palpable, thick enough to be cut with a knife. A Scrappy leaned against the wall, arms crossed, eyes narrowing at the flickering lights. "People want answers," he said, voice low but firm. "And we're about to give them some truth, whether they like it or not." As everyone settled, Kirk took a deep breath and began recounting the events from the start. His voice tinged with a mixture of anger, fear, and determination. He described the day Tihu died, painting a vivid picture of the chaos, the rumors, and the unrelenting media storm that had engulfed them. Every word seemed to carry the weight of years of tension, betrayal, and frustration, as if the act of speaking could finally lift the darkness surrounding them. "My son was there, yes," Kirk admitted, his voice cracking under the strain. "But he didn't do this. He's being set up." "I'll prove it." Rashida squeezed his hand, a silent pillar of support amidst the emotional tempest. Jock and Kendra exchanged wary glances, the room vibrating with unspoken accusations and half-truths. "If your son's innocent," Jock asked, his voice cautious, "then who's really behind this?" Kirk's eyes blazed with intensity. "That's what we're about to find out. I've been digging, talking to people, piecing together a puzzle that's bigger than any of us imagined." The revelation sent a ripple through the group, a mix of fear and anticipation settling over them like a storm cloud. The cameras captured it all: the raw emotion, the whispered side comments, the silent stares that spoke volumes. Suddenly, a notification popped up on Kendra's phone, breaking the fragile silence. A new video had surfaced online, showing a figure fleeing the scene in the dead of night. The footage was grainy, shadowy, but unmistakably someone other than Kirk's son. Gasps filled the room as everyone crowded around the screen, watching the mysterious figure move quickly, deliberately, as if fully aware of being pursued. Scrappy leaned forward, his jaw tight. Finally, he muttered, "The truth's out there. Somebody set him up, and now we can see it." Rashida's hands flew to her mouth in shock, her eyes wide as tears threatened to spill. "It's him," she whispered. "It's not my son." The night escalated into a flurry of arguments, plans, and accusations. Kirk pounded his fist on the table, rallying everyone. "We need to expose this. We need to show the world who's really responsible. No more hiding. No more lying. My son deserves justice." The room became a whirlwind of activity as producers suggested reenacting certain moments. Phone calls were made and evidence was cross-checked. Everyone felt the pressure. The stakes were higher than ever. The cameras captured every heated exchange, every tearful confession, every moment of doubt and determination. Meanwhile, outside the house, fans and bloggers were watching the storm unfold in real time. Social media erupted with speculation, theories, and wild accusations. Kirk's son didn't do it. "Finally, the truth coming out," tweeted one fan. Another countered, "Doesn't matter what video surfaced, he was there. He's guilty." The debate raged on endlessly, the intensity feeding the narrative and amplifying the drama. The Frost family was now living under a microscope, every move dissected, every word analyzed, just as the energy in the room seemed at its peak. A bombshell arrived. A former associate of Tihu came forward with information that would turn the story upside down. Through a phone call that was patched into the live feed, he revealed that there had been a plan to frame Kirk's son all along. A deliberate scheme orchestrated by someone who wanted to settle old scores and manipulate public perception. The revelation sent shockwaves through the household, leaving even the most composed members speechless. Kirk's eyes narrowed with righteous fury. "I knew it," he said, clenching his fists. I knew someone out there was trying to destroy my family." The tension only grew as the night dragged on. Heated debates flared between Jock and Scrappy, accusations flew, and old grievances were brought to the surface. "You're too quick to trust these outsiders," Jock shouted. "We don't know who to believe," Scrappy shot back, his voice sharp and unwavering. "And you're too slow to see the truth. We're wasting time while people are trying to bury us." Kirk intervened, trying to calm the storm, but the energy was unstoppable. Cameras captured the raw reality of a family under siege. with every emotional beat amplified for viewers as the clock ticked past midnight. A breakthrough occurred. Kirk's son, shaken but determined, revealed a crucial piece of information. He had witnessed someone tampering with evidence near the scene. "I didn't touch anything," he said, voice trembling but firm. "But I saw them, and I can tell. It wasn't me." The revelation added a new layer of intrigue, sending everyone into a frenzy as they tried to piece together the implications. The producers, sensing the goldmine of drama, urged for immediate follow-up, pushing the family deeper into confrontation and confession. Rashida, her voice steady despite the chaos, reminded everyone of the stakes. "We're not just fighting for truth," she said. "We're fighting for our family, for our name, for justice. We can't let this tear us apart." Her words resonated, bringing a fleeting moment of calm before the next wave of revelations. Just when it seemed like the night couldn't get more intense, another anonymous source called, claiming to have footage that would finally identify the real culprit. The room erupted with anticipation, fear, and excitement, the air thick with tension that could be felt through the screen. The following hours were a whirlwind of emotions. Kirk strategized with Scrappy, while Jock and Kendra debated how much to reveal to the public. Rashida stood strong beside Kirk, offering unwavering support. Every new piece of information twisted the story further, exposing betrayals, secrets, and hidden agendas. By dawn, the family had unraveled a shocking plot. Someone within T-Hood's circle had orchestrated the entire frame-up, leveraging social media, rumors, and public perception to make Kirk's son appear guilty. As the first light of morning crept through the windows, the Frost family sat together, exhausted but resolute. The night had been long, filled with tears, anger, and revelations that no one could have anticipated. Cameras had captured every high and low, every emotional surge, and every glimpse of truth. Kirk finally addressed the room, his voice steady but filled with conviction. "We're not done," he said. "But tonight, we took the first step. The world will see the truth. My son is innocent, and we will make sure everyone knows it." Rashida nodded, holding his hand tightly, a silent promise of unity and strength. The storm wasn't over, but for the first time in days, there was a glimmer of hope. The saga of Kirk Frost and the shocking allegations surrounding his son reached a point no one could have imagined. And even now, the story continues to send ripples through the reality TV world and beyond. Fans are still reeling, emotions running high as the truth slowly emerges from layers of deception, betrayal, and carefully constructed lies. The tension that gripped the Frost household, the heartbreak, the fear, and the raw moments captured on camera have left viewers captivated, glued to every clip, every leaked video, and every statement. But even as the pieces of the puzzle come together, questions remain unanswered, and the uncertainty only adds to the drama. Who was behind the plot to frame Kirk's son? What drove them to orchestrate such a calculated plan? And how far would they go to manipulate the media, the fans, and the very family they sought to destroy? The answers to these questions are slowly coming into focus, but they continue to spark debate, speculation, and endless theories online as fans dissect the events. There is one thing they can all agree on: the emotional toll on the Frost family has been immense. Rashida's unwavering support, Kirk's relentless determination, and the vulnerability of his son have created a deeply human story amidst the chaos. A story of loyalty, courage, and the fight for truth. Every tear, every raised voice, every moment of fear captured on camera has allowed fans to feel intimately connected to the drama, creating a wave of empathy and outrage that continues to fuel online conversations. Social media platforms are flooded with opinions, theories, and reactions, some supporting Kirk's claim of innocence, others convinced there is more to the story than meets the eye. The whirlwind of emotion, combined with explosive revelations and unexpected twists, has made this saga one of the most talked about scandals in recent memory. The media frenzy surrounding the case has also amplified the stakes. Every detail, every leaked video, and every interview has been dissected by fans, journalists, and reality TV enthusiasts alike. The narrative that Kirk's son was being framed has sparked outrage and support from people across the country, many expressing their disbelief at the way public opinion can be swayed by rumor and speculation. Meanwhile, critics continue to argue that the evidence, no matter how unclear, casts doubt on the family's story, ensuring that the conversation remains heated and far from settled. This dichotomy between supporters and skeptics has only heightened the intensity, creating a public spectacle that has kept viewers glued to their screens, eager for the next shocking revelation. Through it all, Kirk Frost has emerged as a figure of unwavering determination. His commitment to clearing his son's name, confronting the lies, and demanding justice has resonated with fans, earning him both admiration and criticism. In interviews and on-camera confrontations, his raw emotion and insistence on transparency have become central to the unfolding drama. "I'm not just fighting for my son," he told cameras, his voice steady despite exhaustion. "I'm fighting for the truth. I won't let lies destroy my family." Those words have reverberated through social media and news outlets, solidifying Kirk's role as both protector and protagonist in this unfolding saga. Yet the story remains far from over. New evidence continues to surface, witnesses step forward, and alliances shift in ways that keep both the family and the audience on edge. Each development adds layers of intrigue and suspense, leaving fans questioning what really happened, who can be trusted, and whether justice will ultimately prevail. The drama has proven that reality TV isn't just entertainment, it's a reflection of real human emotions, struggles, and the fight to protect loved ones against impossible odds. And while the cameras capture the chaos, the arguments, and the moments of vulnerability, the story behind the headlines remains an ongoing mystery that viewers are desperate to see resolved. For you, the viewer, this story isn't just about drama. It's about witnessing courage in the face of uncertainty, loyalty under fire, and the unrelenting pursuit of truth. You've watched the emotional roller coaster, seen the family torn apart and then come together, and felt the intensity of a situation that could have broken anyone. Now, as the saga continues to unfold, your voice matters. Share your thoughts, theories, and reactions. Did Kirk's son truly face a calculated frame-up, or is there more beneath the surface? Who do you think was really behind the plot, and what will the next twist in this story reveal? Your opinion is part of the conversation, keeping the drama alive and shaping the narrative in real time. So don't just watch, engage. Comment below with what you think happened, who you believe is telling the truth, and how you feel about the Frost family's battle to clear their name. Like the video if you've been captivated by the twists and turns, the raw emotion, and the shocking revelations that have made this story one of the most talked about reality TV dramas of the year. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss an update, ensuring you're the first to know when the next explosive twist drops. And keep sharing your theories, because in a story this intense, every opinion counts. Every reaction matters, and every viewer becomes part of the unfolding drama. As Kirk continues his fight, the stakes remain high. The cameras will keep rolling, evidence will keep emerging, and the Frost family's journey through heartbreak, betrayal, and redemption will continue to grip fans around the world. But through it all, one thing is clear: Kirk's son is not alone, and neither is the family. United by love, loyalty, and a desire for justice, they are ready to face whatever comes next, no matter how shocking, dramatic, or dangerous it may be. And for viewers like you, the story isn't just entertainment, it's a front row seat to a saga that is still unfolding. It's full of suspense, emotion, and the very human struggle to protect what matters most. So stay tuned, stay engaged, and remember, in the world of reality TV drama, the line between truth and deception is razor thin, and every moment could be the next jaw-dropping twist. Don't miss a second, because the Frost family story is far from finished. And you won't want to be the one who hears about the next revelation secondhand. Watch, react, comment, and be part of the conversation. The drama continues, and the truth is still waiting to be fully uncovered.